is August 18th, so happy Friday to everybody. Okay, that's it. Have a good night.
Sounds good. I'm going to sleep.
Yes, we love you too, Carolina in the house, Margaret. We love everyone.
Yep. So really the only thing we need to keep telling you is to do all weekend, all next week is just keep talking to your council members. We need to keep pushing them onto the legislation. We're making a little bit of movement here. No one new has come on recently, but they're starting. So it's important to keep that momentum going. They're listening, they're absorbing what's going on. They understand our win was a really big win. They do understand that the mayor that night did file to appeal. So the entire case now would go to the first department. We're sure that will be heard sometime in the fall. So we do have a little bit of a lull between now and like October, I guess. On the first case, we have some briefing schedules for September and October. Nothing yet on the copay case. And then this case will probably go sometime in the fall. So that'll put it right around October, November. So I would expect a lot of movement around that time. But there's really not too much to say at this point. That our focus needs to be right now is making our points known to city council. So if you see events, and this is really important, take a buddy, go to a community event, and then where your council person is, and then be polite and be kind, and then go to that and let them know that you are a retiree. The judge did find for you. You do want them to support 1099. And if they say something like you really don't want that bill, tell them our attorneys drafted it and we do want 1099. Let them know that that bill will help provide you with the choice that affirms what the judge had said in his order we're supposed to have. Since we know the city is going to try to do something to go around that order. So are we getting together Labor Day? Yes, Lila, I do need a couple more days to finish planning that out. I cannot do that right now, but I have a meeting on Sunday to plan that. But yes, I would say be prepared to be at the parade at about 9:30-ish on the 9th of September. So
it's not on Labor Day itself.
It's on the 9th, Saturday.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll get back to you probably on Monday or Tuesday about that. Steve Fessel, nice job debunking Henry and the MLC bogus letter. Oh my God, Michelle and I are so used to doing debunking bullshit now, it's just come second nature. Susan Pritchard gave Ari money for his battle against Justin. And so let's speak to that for a brief moment. So Justin did come on the bill on Friday. And as we said, I don't know if some of you were on Twitter. If you're not, you might want to get on Twitter because.
And Joe did a nice little, thing, and it's up on the website on how to join. I think it's on our page also, how to
join Twitter.
Yeah, how to join Twitter. So he did an instruction sheet on that.
And so what we've said was, as soon as we put up that thank you, that really nice video that was made by Dan from Educators of New York. So Dan is on our page, Dan, I'll say, if you thank Educators of New York City, he's the one that designed that beautiful thank you video for us. So once we put that up, Justin got attacked by DC 37. And so what we had always said, and true to word, I will always tell you how I feel. You'll always know that I did stand up for him because I felt that attacking him was wrong. I also said that, we've acknowledged that we would support any council person or thank every council person that signed on to our legislation. The people that live in the districts, that you live in the council members' districts where these elections will happening, all these other things, you take into consideration on what your needs are and who is the best candidate for you. I can't tell you that. Michelle can't tell you that, and neither can Carol. We can tell you who supports us and who doesn't support us. The rest is up for you to determine who your candidate is. You know who's had your back, who doesn't have your back, and things will come out upon, the next couple of months throughout as this election season heats up. And you'll see other things coming out of people. You make those decisions for you. But how we have run this is we tried to stay somewhat neutral, but also letting you know who does support you and who doesn't support you. But I did get attacked on Twitter after we put up that thank you message, as people were attacking us for thanking the councilman for coming on. But as we've always said, we will support anyone that supports us. And we did need to say thank you, because that's who we are. And if someone supporting our legislation needs to know that if they get attacked by the very people that are attacking us, they need to know that we would have their back equally, right? So that's why we said what we said. And I slammed Henry, and then I told him to leave the council out of it, and that he really should be looking in the mirror. And then I put up that cute little froggy meme with the one frog was salamander was holding that other frog's mouth, and told Henry to shut up. So try to make a little humor out of it. But it is what it is. But we thank all of the council members for being there for us. We thank Ari for being at our rallies with us, from the beginning, and we're grateful for his support from the get-go. I just received this info in my email where the UFT in 2008 wanted to privatize GHI HIP to Empire, which they eventually did. That's not a privatization, though. This is from a 2008 blog posting. This was a merger in 2006 that started in 2006. So yeah, Mr. Pepper casually states that healthcare mergers and privatizing are difficult to avoid today, and that HIP GHI merger, it wasn't a privatization, it was a merger. Move will allow the union members to receive quality healthcare and will create premium stabilization. Sure it will. Well, there's a lot of other things. So let's touch on that briefly. The unions did something really bad, right? Other than making this really bad decision in 2014, where they gave $1 billion out of the health insurance stabilization fund. One of the other bad things that they did was suppressing the HIP rate. So not only did that count as a quote savings in their savings agreement, it also reduced what the city had to pay for each and every one of us, retired and active. Why would you do that? It also caused, for the active workers and the under 65 retirees, it caused the stabilization fund to drain at a faster rate because they suppressed the HIP rate, the rate that the city has to pay up to. And when there was that difference in premium between HIP and GHI, more money had to come out of the stabilization fund to pay the equalization. Like, this was basically imploding the stabilization fund on purpose. Why would you do that? And I honestly can't give you an answer on that, but they did this to themselves. So you don't suppress a benchmark. I mean, the benchmark is the benchmark. It's what protects you. Why would you suppress the benchmark? This doesn't make any common sense. Makes no sense at all. But that's Henry, Harry, and Michael for you. On my phone, but no, stopped on computer. I don't know what that means, Anne. Are some council members holding off sponsoring? I hope so, not Gerald, because I hope to have this bill done by November. I'm not looking to be playing around with this before the election. This needs to be resolved before the election, not after the election. Because if it is, this then becomes an election issue, and I don't think they want that in their neighborhoods. Because I am sure we will be activating all of you before it gets too cold to start going district to district. There'll be trucks, we'll be bringing trucks out into everybody's districts, and buses and big signs. And Michelle's going, oh God, did you see her face? Did you see her face, Carol? She's like, we are?
Well, you know, as we've said multiple times, older people vote.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Statistically, we vote.
Yes,
I can't remember ever not voting in an election.
Peter Scher says, isn't Henry a vampire so he can't see himself in the mirror? That's pretty funny.
Now.
I know. Laura Genevieve's funny meme. Yes, Marianne, shutting close Henry's mouth. Perfect. I know. I thought it was cute. It was, you know, I don't know. Kind of reminded me about that, you know, frogs in the microwave joke. Never mind.
I don't know if we want to know that one.
No one wants to stand up to the unions. They're the elephant in the room, always big time in New York State politics. But you know what, Chelsea, I'll tell you, unions, I could understand them being the elephant in the room when they were strong and honest and transparent and did the right thing. In this, you have to ask the council members. I could totally understand why you would want to support your unions. I mean, heck, so did we. But when the unions are actually harming people and hurting you, calling you out, withdrawing support because you're trying to stop them from hurting me, why would you support that? Because they shouldn't be worrying then about the unions. They should be worrying about our advocacy. We've always played this on the level. We've not been nasty to anybody. I mean, we might be loud, we might be persistent, we might be annoying. They can call me a pain in the ass, but
and they do.
We've done our job though. I mean, and we've done it with class, haven't we? I mean, style. We've done it with style.
But well, and now the heads of the unions aren't even telling their people what they're doing, which is even worse. See,
yes,
that's a problem.
Yeah, well, the unions haven't been telling their members about anything, you know.
Right. That's a problem.
They
tell them after the fact. It's like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, and like even someone said to me, you know, that memo from Henry, it's like he's going to start to insinuate that if their plans suck, because, you know, you guys know we've been telling you that they are renegotiating since last summer the active worker under 65 plan, and that plan, we don't really have any say on that. That's not something our organization is involved in because it's the active worker plan, right? So there's rumors going around that Henry is saying that if their plan has to be paid for by them, it's the retirees' fault because of our lawsuit. And I said, oh, no. It's their own fault we had to sue them, because if they didn't violate the law multiple times, could try to go around the judge's decision, agree with the city to harm us and put us in an inferior plan, we wouldn't have had to sue. They should be looking at the mirror because, and I know Peter, he's probably a vampire, but if they didn't violate the law and try to harm us, this is now blaming the victim for something they did. They victimized us and now they're blaming us. That's not going to fly. So we have to keep telling the active workers that if you have a crappy plan, guess what? Your own union negotiated it. If there's cost on you, guess what? Your own unions negotiated it. And we're trying to tell the active unions in the municipal labor committee, wake up, guys, because they're eventually going to come to you to try to force a vote to sell you some other crappy ass plan like they did to us. And you better not let that happen without reviewing the contract and making sure you know all the details, because if you knew the details of ours, you probably wouldn't have voted for it. But you took Henry, Harry, and Michael on their word. And at some point, after losing in court yet one more time, maybe they'll just stop blindly following Henry, Harry, and Michael and start to question what they're being told. Because I think that's the important part at this point, don't you think?
Well, maybe.
Loyalty over competency is what they're
Mhm.
doing. They're just blindly following, they're just sheep at this point. They need to wake up and start to defend their own, protect their own members, because this is their future.
Right.
I don't know. Hey, Bob, I hope you're doing good. I was going to call you today, but literally I got off the phone only a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's all right. She's supposed to call me back since like 11:30 this afternoon. I've been waiting.
I know. Truth be told, I'm still in my pajamas.
It's like, oh, I'll call you right back. Yeah, okay.
I never got out. I never got up. My phone started ringing at 7:30 and here I am at 8:30. The green and white reunion is September 9th. Yes, I know. And then we're doing the 9/11 memorial at the Academy. So on the 11th. Michelle will be doing we'll be doing the green and white, not me. And Kevin, thank you too. I did get to meet Dan and Bob on Tuesday, and I will message you about how great that went. Yes, Ellen. So after the election, we don't have Barron, and we won't have either Brannon or Kagan, and we won't have Kristen Richardson Jordan. So I don't want to lose council members. We need to get this done before November. That's the goal. Joe GM, what's up with Mr. Gennaro? I got him real upset when I told him I would say a prayer for him that he would be enlightened to support 1099. He said 1099 was illegal and 12-126 was illegal, and that he was the only council member telling retirees the truth. When I responded to his message, he deleted everything from his Facebook page. Well, Joe, I want to say a few things. I'm just going to think really hard and try to connect with me.
Don't hurt yourself.
Because sometimes there are just some people that can't be saved.
Can't save them all.
No.
We try.
Yeah. Glad to be on the side of honesty and virtue. You ladies are the bomb. You tell it like it is, and it's so hard for our opponents to deal with it. Yes, because the truth is something they're just so not used to.
Because they're politicians.
Truth hurts.
I know. I got a text message today. Where did it go?
You look at that. We had some shout outs from Maine and Texas. And
So Jimmy
You
wrote
know,
me today and said, this is why the union leaders are angry with Marianne. And it's a meme that says, no one is more hated than he who speaks the truth, Plato.
right.
It is true. Councilmember Marjorie Velasquez staff said that they don't like 1099 because it says the city has to offer a Medigap and only people call her office to say they want the Aetna plan. Really? I guess we're going to have to. All right, everyone, put on your to-do list. Call Marjorie Velasquez and tell her office why you don't want the Aetna Medicare Advantage plan. Clearly, Marjorie Velasquez is not listening. Who is the city appealing to? Another court, a different court. This case goes back to the first department, Paulie. Keep trying with Carlina Rivera. They said her chief of staff would be calling me. This is the third time, if not more. No call yet. So Lainey, send her an email and then copy me on that email and ask for a meeting. Did you see the Riverdale press snippet that someone posted on the New York org page today? The news outlet interviewed Dinowitz and conveyed what he feels about our bill. They wrote, Dinowitz says it's technically a budget item, but not really, because the city council doesn't negotiate contracts. Well, this isn't a contract. He said it just isn't about money, but making sure the mayor who controls the contracts and the unions have that agreement. Well, we don't need to, because this isn't codified in contract or the union. It's actually codified in law as affirmed by the judge. It's maddening on so many levels, but 1099 got introduced to protect us from the mayor and the MLC heads who have aligned themselves with multi-billion-dollar insurers who view us as fodder. I'm not quitting on Dinowitz yet, but they say he's about to make a decision. Holy. So Laura, I would say if that's your district, I would go grab a whole bunch of retirees with big signs that say Dinowitz is selling off retirees or doesn't support Medicare or doesn't support retirees and Medicare. And just, I don't know, go have lunch at outside his office. The video MLC Lies was excellent. The breakdown of the Garrido Merida is on point. MLC more lies coming. I have to remember
Is
that.
that a Spanish word stuck in there?
Merida?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
It might mean like your word Michigas or something.
Oh, no. I know what it means.
Oh,
I rode the subways for enough years going up to the Bronx.
Can
I say what it means?
Well, I just said it in Spanish, so why don't you just translate it
It
in
means
English?
shit.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Thank you for the translation.
You're welcome.
Oh, and you just off topic, Carol, you got a You Have Great Cheekbones by Leon.
Oh, thank you. It's because Sue told me I needed a different light. So that's all it is.
See,
Thank
there you go. Open the
Sadly.
door.
Isn't it possible that council members aren't supporting us because so many of us don't live in the city and don't vote? So many of them have asked for an address. So, Gail, no, because about 72% or 75% of retirees live in New York. That is a bullshit argument. And if they say that, you can tell them like 72% of retirees live in New York. And just because you don't, this isn't a union point. The unions are telling the council this. Tell them that you are a New Yorker, that this healthcare bill, your healthcare was promised to you as a condition of employment, and that the law administrative code promises that this will be yours through your lifetime. And it is up to this council, like previous councils, to protect it. They just don't know their job. And they're listening to Michael Mulgrew and Henry Garrido saying, you don't have to listen to them. They don't vote for you. They don't live here. That's a false argument. And tell them that.
Right. And if you know what, you have family that lives here and vice versa. And you know what, I am going to live until like I'm 140, just to spite them. I'll roam the earth.
Kevin, I wasn't at his office. I was in Flushing.
Hey, Vito from Florida.
Thanks, Renee. Sugar's doing all right. She's here. I'll see if I show you. She's there.
There she is.
There's my baby. She has spondylosis of the spine and collapsing trachea. So we're trying to make her comfortable. We have to influence teachers to vote out Mulgrew. Yes, we do. Went to see men in office, and the very young interns kept saying there has to get to a hearing. You can also, when you go to her office, ask her what she's doing about hospital pricing and accountability. When's that getting set up? How many councilmen do we have so far? We have 17 council persons. Called Borelli, Camila Hanks, and David Carr's office, no return call back. I heard the city is getting outside lawyers to fight this appeal. Is that true? If they did, that's not any surprise. They're always hiring outside lawyers. That's not a big deal. I don't know when the next UFT election is. Hello, Anna from Georgia. If I have time, I'll come see you.
You to share, maybe they'll hire the Aetna lawyer. I'm sure he's out of a job.
I know. And Michelle, if you live to 140, you'll also piss off the actuaries who will have to pay your pension much longer than they wanted to.
I know. That'll be great. I'll do it just for spite.
You know, I wonder if there was something that was done with the pensions, and that's why they're trying to kill us all off, because of the actuarial factors used in calculating pensions.
Hey, I'll do it for
Could be,
spite.
could be.
Because I'm like that.
So therefore, we all gotta live to 100 or 100 something, because that'll totally screw them up.
How do we get the names and addresses of New York City retirees that live in the city and break them into council district? So we keep putting up a questionnaire. We can do it again. I just got to repost the link that asks everyone to tell us where they live if they're in the 5 boroughs. That's how we know who's in the districts, is we send it out in email and we send it out on the page. People have to click it and fill it in. It's only when they do that, and we don't get a lot of people filling that in. But we do know statistically from the insurance companies in data through FOIL of how many people live where, but we don't get any more information than that. So we know out of like 188,000 people, like 150,000 live in the city of New York, in New York. So we know a lot of people live there. So that union talking point is bullshit. But this is why when we put that link up that says, do you live in the 5 boroughs? Please fill out this link. That way we know we have your contact info. What we do is we then so like we emailed Camila Hanks 2 months ago in May. And we emailed her a couple times and she hadn't emailed back. And what we do is we email her and her chief of staff, and then we copy everyone in her district. So that way you get to see all your peers that live in her district, and she sees all of you as her constituents, and she's like, ooh, and that should typically move them to contact you and schedule the meeting. So I'll put it up again and look for that link. It'll just like ask you like name, address, phone number, or name, phone number, and email or something, and sign up for that, because that's how I know who's in what district. And then we can send you the email with your council person to try to get those meetings. They will be moved to see those. They will take a meeting more with you guys than they will just with me. To me, they view me as I've already been painted as a pain in the ass, but you guys, they have to see you. You're the constituent. How ironic, the city is using tax money to fight us. Well, and so is the unions using dues money to fight us. Like union money and retirees that do pay dues to whatever union that they do pay their dues to, like the UFT. They're using your own money against you. I don't know when the next UFT election is, but I think right after that election, you definitely try to get him out, because the retiree vote is one of the strongest votes that are there. And then if you lose that election, you might want to suspend your dues and cope, you know, I mean, that's really up to you guys. If you really need whatever health plan, like some of them are, the union, the UFT union attaches like a catastrophic plan. If you don't really need that, then just withdraw it. They need to feel the pinch, because right now that's how they're holding you hostage, is by taking that funding and using it against you by tying it to something you may want. So Catherine asks, my husband and I emailed Rita Joseph. Neither of us have heard back. I would just start calling her office and calling both offices like every day, her ledge office and her district office. And if not, just go down there, because Rita's not been very nice with us at all. I mean, and nothing that we've done to her, we've not, you know, she accused our retirees of getting angry with her, but that was a UFT campaign where teachers were called angry angry UFT active teachers on the request of Michael Mulgrew were calling there saying, you know, screaming at them and then telling them that they wanted their Aetna plan. That's not the majority of the retirees. Like our retirees don't want, they want choice. They didn't, and they had no reason to call and scream at her. That was a total setup. So unfortunately, and I do believe there is a tighter UFT connection with that office.
Well, shout out to Michael Serrata. It's the first time he was able to join live. We've helped him so much, and a great big thank you from him.
Yes, Councilman Barron's in office until January 1. I will post it again, Peter. Well, just remember something, Laura. I keep saying it over and over again. It's loyalty over competency. They don't want to show that they're not being loyal, but what they're not recognizing is they really aren't being loyal to the very people that are vulnerable and need their protection, who they were supposed to be protecting. And they're still not viewing as to what our former unions are doing to us as ill-conceived. Mulgrew's term expires in 2025. He was reelected, unfortunately, for the 5th time in May of 22 for a 3-year term. So he'll be around unless we could drive him batshit crazy and he decides to run for the hills. Notice he's been very quiet for a very long time.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't even think the UFT put anything out about this last win, did they?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything, and usually, you know, they were sending out tons and tons of, you know, emails.
The
and all
MLC
sorts.
put out that bullshit letter.
Yeah, and they were sending out all
Maybe he's on
propaganda.
vacation
Right. So
in Florida.
Did we put those up on our debunk page?
what the
We probably
I think
didn't.
so.
We probably have to put them up on the debunk. I have to put them in a format to give them to Joe.
Yeah.
And if Joe's watching, make a note too. We need to make sure that 1099 is up on the page as well.
I believe it is. But
All
I'll check.
2 sentences of it.
Just the bill in general, like the copy of the bill needs to be there.
I believe it is. I think that was done a while back.
It should be easier to find because I've been getting some comments about it not being easy to find.
Okay.
I just don't understand Joe Borelli. Staten Island is one of the homes to so many cops, firefighters, teachers, active and retired. Why is he not signing on? Maybe a potential job in the administration. I mean, that's possible. Give me another day. I did an interview with the Staten Islander and I haven't had a chance to view it. Once I do, I will link it and then we can put it in an email and put it up on the page and then you guys are free to share it. But I did see it come in the other day. I was just too swamped to get to it, but I will dig it out of my email.
Yeah, no response from the UFT to retirees about Judge Frank's decision. Yep, no propaganda.
think he learned his lesson. He's like, I don't want to be accused of debunking bullshit again. I don't want to be on that retirees debunking bullshit page.
What, no air fryer?
Yeah. I don't even know what happened to the air fryer guy. Maybe he's under the desk holding Mulgrew. I got no idea. Yeah, Murphy either. Haven't seen Murphy. The UFT retirees Facebook page group kicks people off who say anything against what Mulgrew was saying. I was kicked off for questioning what was being said in that group about the Medicare Advantage plan. You're not the only one, Shelley.
Need a civics lesson in free speech.
I understand that the UFT official retiree page issued a very terse statement. I wouldn't be surprised, Ellen. There was a group of retirees a couple months ago that went to a meeting and Tom Murphy was like, put your signs down. And like, it literally kicked out poor Gloria out of that meeting because she was holding a sign, basically calling them out on their bullshit. But, you know, because unfortunately our former unions no longer believe in transparency and democracy and free speech. If you don't have to say what they say, if you don't say what they want you to say, then they don't really care about you. I don't know where they lost their way on that, but that's really sad. We need to go take our unions back. Michelle's like, I'm not going back.
No, nope,
I'm not going back.
nope.
No response from the UFT. I don't serve on the community board, and I don't know anyone who serves on the community board for Julie Wan. She never responds to constituents. Do you want only names of folks? Well, we have two things, Pop Charlie. I put up both the district letter, the district questionnaire that asks you what district you live in, because we want to email and schedule meetings with the constituents, with the council members. The other one is if you serve on the community board, there's two surveys that go up. So I will put up both again, and if you're not on the community board, fine, but please click the one that says you're in Julie's district if you haven't already. That way I can start to send out those emails. You have to scroll way down on the page to find the bill. I've sent thousands each day. I'm on a roll. Don't stress out there, Anne, really. Two points I want to make. One, this is not an anti-union organization like they want to make it sound. You're absolutely correct. We're not anti-union. We are union. The thing is
we are union.
We're anti-union stealing from their retirees. That's what we are. But they want to say you're anti-union because you contradict them.
Yes.
That's not the case. The city has a $9 billion surplus and the state has a $15 billion surplus, and they can fix this deficit very easily. Yes, they can, Chelsea, and thank you for saying that. That is absolutely true, because they want to say, look, last fall, I went to an event, and when I landed, I'd called Michelle and said, you're not going to believe this. United Federation of Teachers is saying that I am a Trumper Republican funded by the Koch brothers, and that this organization is funded by dark money. So we were like, really? That's very interesting.
Yeah, we are not in. Go ahead, Carol.
As treasurer who sees the bank accounts and the ledgers, the accounting ledgers, I can tell you we are funded by
my retirees.
You guys.
Angry retirees. No
dark money coming in.
No, and that's
all
what they underestimate.
Work for nothing.
Right. And Benjamin Grossman just said it, the unions have abandoned the retirees and that's what
have.
it is. And we are disgusted by it. And that's why, you know, we come out against the union leaders about it. And, you know, and that's what the problem is. So,
Chelsea, if I remember correctly, you are TWU 100 fighting, you're either a retiree or an active from TWU 100 and you're fighting the MTA. We support you and what you're doing as well. And you're absolutely right. Just because you contradict or you push back on your union selling you off does not mean that you're anti-union. You're anti being sold off, you're anti-transparency, you're being used as a funding mechanism to fund them. That was never what we were told would ever happen to us. And they used us for our loyalty and our support. And we had no reason not to give it to them because we were loyal union members, but we would never have been we never would have thought that they would have done this to us. So, that's the sad part. We are not anti-union. We are union, and we have to keep reminding them that.
right.
Yes, Ellen, I saw that too. We were there again, not using our name. So I think I have to go back and repost that video where I tell Henry, Harry, and Michael to say our name, because they don't say my name and they don't say the group's name. They won't say the name of the organization. So I think we need to do a Zoom, like a fun Zoom, where yeah, like where we have like 1,000 faces on a Zoom and saying, you know, chanting Henry, Harry, Michael, say our name, say our name. It's just horrible. Benjamin, I wish we had the dark money. I wish we had dark money too, and we could probably take a week off. I mentioned it in my first post, but to repeat, although Hanks is supposed to answer her constituents, she does not. I am a constituent. I contacted her by snail mail and email on several issues, some of them just DOT issues, for example, not even a courteous response. She received my letters. So I am meeting with her Monday. So if there's something you want me to have, send it to me in a PM on Messenger, but I am meeting with her Monday. Okay. And I'll let you know how that goes. The MLC and unions are in some crazy other reality. It's so dysfunctional. Well, you know what they say. It puts the fun in dysfunctional, right? They are definitely crazy. I feel that there's a scandal underneath this whole issue. Follow the money. Any relationship between the shareholders of CVS and Aetna and the makers, city policy makers and the unions. I don't know, but there's a new scandal growing about the mayor's straw donor funding, something that was broke today. And I just haven't had the chance to go back and look at it. It has ties to the guy that works, I think, at 372. And I don't know. There's a story there. I just didn't have time to go look at it.
Well, if anybody thinks they
Fugazi stuff.
What's that?
Some more Fugazi stuff.
If anybody thinks that there's a lead on something, do your research. Send us information. Dig it up.
Maybe we should all be sending the current leaders of our former unions copies of the injunction and Lillian Berrios Paoli and Nate Leventhal's supportive comments. I doubt the MLC is sharing these documents. Actually, James, that's a very good idea. And I'm going to suggest too, you guys might want to print up, we posted those comments on social media this past week. The one you saw a couple weeks ago, Lillian Berrios Paoli's op-ed, that is also on our page. You also saw we posted some of the comments that were in the Daily News this week. I'm also going to tell you, watch the Daily News this Sunday. And then print all of that out and send it to your former union for Monday morning. So make sure you got ink in your printer and a few pages, or go to the library. Remember when we printed up a bill and we sent the bill to Michael Mulgrew? Do you remember when we sent him a bill for $1 billion? Do you remember?
Yes.
We might want to do
Yes,
that
I
again.
remember
Do you remember?
that. The invoice.
We sent him an invoice
Yeah,
for
the
$1 billion,
invoice.
and we had everyone print it out and mail it to him. Let's come up with something this weekend. I'm feeling devious. With over 100,000 New York City retirees living in the city, we can influence every election, the New York City mayor included. Yes, we can, Michael. There's about 150,000 retirees in New York City that are Medicare eligible retirees, but there's plenty more. Chelsea, they're mad at me for being so involved as an active member. Medicare Advantage was passed in TWU 100. They sneak it in by giving members a bonus. They blocked me from the Transport Workers Union Facebook page too. My dad is a UFT retiree. I worked for DOE for 5 years, now MTA 5 years, and they said tier 6 was going to be a good pension, and then they saved them millions of dollars, and we are losing. Thank you for your support, and I support you all also. All workers should support you nationwide. Keep sharing and posting on social media. I think going national and getting pressure on them from all over, and use what we've been doing is as a way of, I don't know what you guys are doing in means of trying to push back on your own union, but you can probably use our court decisions in some way to show that it would be a diminishment of your healthcare benefit. I wouldn't give up on that. I'm hoping that you guys have some path to litigation. Wonder why the mayor is disappearing in Israel this week. Bad things breaking. Yes. Just Google that straw. It was like a straw donor poll. Some people were saying that they had to make donations, but they got reimbursed. I mean, it's starting to look not so good. And I saw that on Twitter earlier. At some point, doesn't the city's constant judicial pestering lawsuits after losing so much become frivolous and perhaps incurring compensatory damages, maybe to cover our legal costs? We tried, Michael, to file for that the last time, and we weren't successful on that. And I don't foresee us being able to do that. And print a $1 billion IOU. Marcia just posted the link, the new straw donor poll story from the city. Thank you, Marcia. Marcia posted the link to the story that broke today. Maybe present him with a big oversized check. Adams must go, vote him out. You're an inspiration to us too, Shelley. We can't move without you guys. You guys keep us going. That and espresso. So that's all I got. You guys got anything?
No, that's it.
Well, I got my
Your
usual
spiel.
thing.
Spiel.
Yes, as Marianne and Michelle explained at the beginning of this short Zoom call.
Okay, shush. It was short in some perspectives.
We've got 3 things going simultaneously. And to reiterate, we work for nothing. However, the lawyers do not. They send bills, we got to pay the bills. So every donation counts, and we appreciate everything. But please make sure there's money in the account, because we do get checks that bounce, and that costs money to us. So
Yeah,
you're not giving us money, you're taking money.
There's a few people that keep writing checks on accounts, on checking accounts they've closed. So please make sure that your account is not closed when you're writing a check.
Yeah.
in closing, I want to say this too, because this came up a couple times today. You're familiar that we have some issues with a husband and wife team down in Florida. He's a retired sergeant, and he keeps spreading rumors that Emblem Health is funding us. We're not funded by Emblem Health. Are we funded by Emblem Health, my dear? Thank you. Are we funded by
Nope.
Emblem Health employees?
No.
Then the other thing that came out this week is that Emblem Health is only having clinics in the New York metro area. No, Emblem Health has had clinics in the New York metro area for years. They're not new. That's where they've been. And that, yes, they have been increasing their network. You can actually just go on their website to see that. And that was actually part of the construct design, the design of the plan that was negotiated by the Municipal Labor Committee and the city. Not us. We're not part of that. So anything that any one of those retired officers that are hearing from that retired NYPD page, I think it's a point, it must be time for all of you that are on that page to recognize you're being lied to and that there's misinformation being fed to you, because the person that's leading that page can't say that they're supporting your choice or wanting you to have a choice of plans, even though they may like their Aetna Medicare Advantage plan. If they truly wanted to protect you, to provide you with, make sure that you had the choice of plans, so that if at any time, like you've always had a choice of plans, if at any time the one plan that the city was trying to force you into, an Aetna Medicare Advantage, didn't work for you, you had another choice, an alternative. So he can't keep saying that he's supporting that when he's pushing Medicare Advantage. So I think it's time you guys also need to wake up and realize he can't be arguing out both sides of his mouth. And then, of course, you know, the one team that's been on your side, this team has been fighting and advocating for you for 2 years. We're 2 years old last week, right, Michelle?
Yes, 2 years old.
For 2 years is us, you know, as I said to someone last week, what has he brought to your table? Because I could tell you what our team has brought to your table. Right. So kiss my butt.
But
Signed, Blunder Woman.
anyway, I want to thank our moderators for holding down the fort all week. Make sure you call the
Absolutely.
council members this weekend. Oh, well, you can't call them because they're not there, but next week. As always, without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And thank you for doing your homework and everything else. I appreciate you all. And USA, everything is moving along smoothly. Don't get crazy. Everything is okay. It's going to be okay.
Yes, Mama.
That's right.
Mama Michelle.
Right.
She was one of the mamas and papas.
That's right. So
Laura says, we love you, Blunder Woman. Yay.
that's right.
We love you too, Laura. Yes, you can always have fun with this team, that's for sure. Because not only do we laugh at idiots, we are okay with laughing at ourselves. So enjoy your weekend. Oh, you got to do your 8.
Oh, you got your 8 ball. You got to hold it up, Michelle, so we can see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
It says, what does it say? You got to ask me a question. Hold on. It says yes. See? It says yes.
Cool. So everyone, we're going to say goodnight. Have a great weekend. I will post those 2 links up. Don't send me emails asking me when I'm getting the videos up and when the emails are going out. They'll go when they go.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you for everything.
No.
Thanks for supporting us. Thank you for being there. Thank you for carrying on that fight and going into your community events and meeting your council persons and pushing back on all the BS that you're being confronted with. And thank you for being those boots on the ground that we need in all of these districts, because this is still a fight yet to come. So hang in there.
And the people that are watching are active with.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, and those
there are
people that
other,
are spying.
yes, but there are also other people that are out there and are kind of off in la la land. So try to make a contact with one person that you used to work with. Call them up and say, hey, are you aware? Go to the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees website and see what we're doing. Reach out to one person that you used to work with.
Right. And also a big shout out to the actives that are supporting us
Absolutely.
in the
Just-
word. Right.
Just remember though, something, Carol, if they're in our page spying on us, that says something.
You mean we have spies?
I'm telling you. Yep. Yes, we're taking up real estate in their head.
Oh, and they watch the YouTubes because, you know, they have to learn and they got to steal our ideas and, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's okay. Yeah.
I
That's
was looking for something the other day and I said to Mary Ann, you know, I was trying to do some research on things. And what kept coming up? Mary Ann and her YouTubes.
She Googled Henry Garrido and I kept coming up. It was the funniest thing. I was like, what? I thought that was hysterical. But anyway, have a great weekend, guys. Peace. Have a great weekend. Be happy, relax. And I will put those 2 links up. Keep connecting with your council member over the weekend via email. If there's community events, get out in your community and go enjoy yourself and stir some good trouble, not, you know, crazy trouble, but like good trouble.
And find one person that you worked with, just one, and reach out to them.
There you go crazy and spend that dark money.
Yeah.
Marsha.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
can say, I mean, absolutely, there is no dark money. There's nothing sneaky going on. The
It's
money
dark money 'cause you shut
comes
the light off.
from our retirees by one of the different methods.
I know it's dark because you shut the light off. So
Oh,
it becomes
yeah.
dark money. There you go. When you open your wallet in the dark, it's dark money. So
That's
you
all
get it
right.
anyway. But
Yeah.
I'm
All right. So we're going to call it a night, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we will see you Monday.
Yep.
Ciao.
Ciao.